If you're obsessed by memories of the past, more than 18 months old, and most of those are negative, so anxiety-provoking most often, then there's a lot of you that's stuck in the past. And what that means is you didn't map the territory well enough, and the parts of your brain that are alarm systems, anxiety systems, are saying, no, there's holes in the way you're looking at the world. There's holes in the way that you're looking in the world. And you fell in them once, and you don't know where they are, and you don't know how to fill them, and you don't know how to walk around them, and so you can't forget them, you can't forget them, you can't forget them, you can't forget them. So you have recurring nightmares, for example, or a good example of that sort of thing happening. But in any case, if you have memories like that, you remember them, they make you feel anxious and negative, you're stuck back there. Your body is still reacting as if there's an emergency that could happen again that you haven't fixed. And it doesn't matter if it was your fault, that's irrelevant, because the alarm system doesn't care. Like, when your smoke detector goes off, it isn't relevant whether it was your fault. The smoke detector just says, house is on fire, and that's a bad thing. And your anxiety systems are like that. If they're tagging old memories with anxiety, then you have to do something about it.
Number one, put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. 40 years ago, March 27th, 1975, it was 40 years ago, just this past March, I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I hope none of you can relate. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop. They still call it beauty shop now? What they call it? Yeah, I was sitting in the beauty parlor. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me. She was looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen. Give me a pencil. I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975. She said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now, mind you, I flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the army. I didn't know what I was going to do, and she's telling me I'm going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God.
All I knew back then was hard work. You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard. I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the fuck's in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Still not getting it. Read again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Darkness. And then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this shit.
The dopamine system kicks in with a kick of positive emotion if you're going somewhere that's worth going. And so that's worth knowing. It's really worth knowing. It's like, okay, you want a little bit of positivity in your life. Well, how do you get it? Well, you've got to get the system. It's almost like it's the left hemisphere system for most people. Not that that's particularly relevant, but it is a standalone neurochemical system. It's rooted very, very deeply in the brain's exploratory circuit. So very ancient system. And it's happy when you have somewhere to go. That's the first thing. And then it's also happy when you're going there.
Okay, that's what everybody doesn't understand. Money is a result. You're the cause. That's the effect. You are the root of your success. People say to me all the time, hey, Harv, how do I be successful? How do I be a success? I say, if you want to be a success, you have to be a success. You have to be the success. When you are the success, then everything you touch will be a success.
There's a universe
the universe. And the universe has a principle of management. And the universe says this: until you show you can handle what you've already got, you won't get any more. The Bible says the same thing. To he who hath, more shall be given. Most people are running around with 1 or 2 scoops dripping all over the place. They have a financial mess on their hands and they have no foundation, and they go, what? Give me more, give me more, give me more. And the universe, in its support of you, is saying, not until you clean that up. So literally, we're talking about the possibilities of when you invest in yourself, when you invest in your mindset, your attitude, when you invest in your character, when you invest in learning more about your habits and changing those habits, when you invest in your personal development, you're going to take a shortcut to that success. Because as I said, it could take 20, 25 years to get a big return on your financial investment, but how long does it actually take to get a return on your personal growth investment? Well, it's different for everybody. It depends on what kind of tree you are. All right, what do I mean by that? There are some trees that when you plant the seeds, they just sprout the next year. They go from nothing to 2 feet in a year, and then they just keep on going. And they grow to a certain height, okay? Let's say this height. But then there's other trees. Take the bamboo tree, for example. You know the bamboo story. Well, basically, you plant the bamboo seed, and a year later you come back and you check on your bamboo tree, and there is no tree. How come? Because it's still under the ground. 2 years later you come back and you come check on your tree, no tree. There's nothing to see. 3 years later, no tree. 4 years later, no tree. You start to wonder, there's no tree here. This thing must not have taken hold. The 5th year you come back, not only do you see a tree, you see a tree that could actually be 50 feet high in only 1 year. How come? Because what was it doing for the 4 previous years? It was growing its roots really, really deep, really, really strong, so that it could handle that extreme skyrocketing growth when it came out of the ground. So a lot of you are fast-growing trees from the very beginning, but you gotta have stamina. That's why you have to keep on working on yourself. You have to keep on investing in yourself so that you don't just grow and then plop over by the first wind that goes by, right? And a lot of you are bamboo trees. You are growing deep, deep roots. And then you're gonna all of a sudden sprout, grow really high, and you'll keep it because your roots are deep. One way or the other, you have to invest in yourself. You have to keep growing.
If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed.
In my book, based on the research, that's where we get it wrong. Confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is embodied in action. My definition of confidence is the willingness to try. I'm going to say it again. Your new definition of confidence, embodied by the research. Confidence is the willingness to try. Confidence is an action. That's what it is. And this phenomenon has been heavily researched by social psychologists, and there's even a term for confidence being an action. See, there's this positive feedback loop that happens when you're willing to try something before you feel ready. When you're willing to step into that leadership role and put yourself out there and take risks and make mistakes and shove that self-doubt to the side.